What's up guys, James here from BootWizard Boot Reviews with another Bootmas video for our BootWizard Awards 2019. Today we're looking at the boots that have had the best update this year. So they're an old model that's had a refresh, an update, a facelift, and that's made them significantly better. So what I'm talking about is the exact opposite of these, the Predator 19 range. This was the worst update of the year because nothing changed from the 18 to the 19. We are looking for outstanding performance upgrades from one year or one generation to the next. All of those boots have a previous generation that is inferior to the current one, but which one is the best update? At number 5, we're going for the UMBRO UX ACCURO 3, and this is a huge jump from the ACCURO 2, which in all honesty was a little bit of a train wreck. Not only have UMBRO improved pretty much everything to do with the upper, they've also added this D3O technology to the upper of the boot, which adds a really nice extra element and is probably the best new technology that's been added to a football boot this year. They've really gone for something new, something innovative, something that nobody else is doing, and they have really, seriously improved on that old UX ACCURO 2. The only reason it's not higher is because they have not changed the sole plate at all, and that still is a little area where I think there is improvement that needs to be made. The sole plate is too much like a hard ground sole plate, and generally the boot still does have some flaws, especially with regards to fit. So you can't go any higher, but must admit, a real surprise and a really impressive advancement from UMBRO to make it number 5. At number 4, we've got the New Balance Tequila V2. Now this is a boot that upon first glance, upon looking at it, looks like a really small tweak and a really small upgrade from the V1, whereas in actual fact, a huge amount of things have been changed, and all for the better. So this being the V1 with the old V1 upper, but actually the V2 sole plate, which is significantly better. It's more aggressive, it's snappier, and it is so much lighter, which is super critical to the improvement of this boot. The upper still retains that softness from the V1, but adds more responsiveness and more structure. Everything that New Balance have done to make this a better boot is top notch, and it really is deserving of a place in this top 5. At number 3, we've got the Lotto Solista 200 version 3. Again, similarly to the UMBRO, this holds the same sole plate and stud pattern as you got on the version 2, but with a completely new upper. We've gone from an old F50 style synthetic upper to this super soft knit with this fantastic grip coating on top. The advancement and this change, there's been 10 years worth of evolution gone into one boot and one upper. It's not perfect, it does lack a little in responsiveness, and I do want to see a new sole plate from Lotto sooner rather than later. But this is one of my favorite boots of the year, and that change from the 2 to the 3 has been fantastic. This is well deserving of a spot on the top updates for 2019. Number 3. At number 2, it's a boot that only ends up higher than the Lotto because what came before it was honestly not that great. It's not a boot that I really bought into. And the boot I didn't really buy into was the NEMEZIZ 18.1, meaning this is the NEMEZIZ 19.1. This is my personal favorite boot of the year. I'm not saying it's the best, it's just the one I personally like to wear the most, and the improvement from the 18 to the 19 has been phenomenal. This is still very much a flawed football boot, but it now does something special. It does something that other boots don't do, and it provides you with something unique, and it is miles ahead of those 17 and 18 NEMEZIZ ranges, and for me is now a very viable option for you to go out and buy. A boot that more people should be considering, that has had a total rework from the upper to the outsole. Everything about this boot is new, and everything about it is better than the old generation. The NEMEZIZ 18.1 is in the bin. The 19.1 is the new king, and it's number 2. And at number 1, it is not the Vapor 13 Elite. Don't turn off the video. I'm going to explain. I promise I'll explain. The reason for this is because every other boot on this list has come from a place of basically being outdated or simply not very good to make a huge leap and a big advancement into a viable candidate for a boot you should buy. The Vapor 12 Elite was still an excellent boot with some tweaks that needed. They've made those tweaks, and it's made the Vapor 13 such an incredible boot. But the leap has been far less than for every other boot on this list. So the Vapor 13 Elite doesn't make the list. Please don't be angry at me, and if you are, just tell me in the comments. But then what? What is this magical boot that has made a huge enough leap to be number 1? And it is the Mizuno Rebula 3. If you ever wore the Rebula 2, it's a boot that I would personally describe as underwhelming. It's not a boot I would ever reach for. It's not a boot that once I tried, I actually ever bought. I had a pair, I tried them, I didn't like them, I sold them. It was that interesting. The Rebula 3, however, is a marvel of comfort, of performance. It's just so good. It's a boot that deserves more recognition, and it's a boot that really has kind of already been forgotten about by your average consumer, even though it is a boot that should seriously be considered as a boot of the year. It's that good. It's gone from Rebula 2, put it in the bin as far as I'm concerned. Rebula 3, I'm talking about it in the same pocket as the Vapor 13 Elite in terms of being one of this year's very best boots in terms of performance, technology, looks, everything. And if you haven't tried the Rebula 3 yet and you're considering it, you should definitely give it a go because it really is fantastic. If you've got any more either best or worst updates for 2019, drop them down in the comments, let me know what you think. We'll start a conversation. Remember to like this video, get subscribed by clicking here, click over here to get the rest of my Bootmas Boot Awards. Well, that's all from me here at BootWizard today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're not too mad I left the Vapor out. Have a good one, and I'll see you soon.